That's why we're here.
So people want to talk about macrobiotics, right? Yes. Okay, so we could have a whole 3-hour class just on macrobiotic philosophy and theory, but we have 30 minutes, so I'm going to give you the basics of macrobiotics. This is a way of life. It's a lifestyle. It's not just a diet. People often read about it in a book, and they read about the standard macrobiotic diet, which was prescribed by Michio Kushi, one of the fathers of macrobiotics, which says you eat this much grain, this much protein, this much of this much of that. And it's a general guideline. And people read that in a book and they think, oh, well, that's what I have to follow every single day at every single meal. But that's not true. It all depends on your condition. We all have a different condition. We all have different lifestyles. Some of us are male, some of us are female, some of us are busy, some of us are athletes, some of us have children. So, we all have different lives. So the standard macrobiotic is just a guideline to help you better understand what would be balanced on my plate. It's not like you have to follow that all the time. If you're healthy, like I'm pretty young and healthy, my diet is more wide than the standard macrobiotic diet. Green leafy vegetables like collard greens. Does everybody eat these and know what these are? Yay, collards are great. The stalk is hardier than the leaves. So you would think maybe the stalk is going to take longer to cook than the leaves, so you probably want to cut this in a different shape, or keep that in mind. So what I do is I cut the stalk out, and then I cut this depending on what it's going to go in. And usually what I'll do is I'll do a lot so that I have a big stack. And then, does everybody know what chiffonade is? Mm-hmm. It's a type of cutting where you roll the vegetable or the herb or the leaf.
Every morning.
And then you slice. You do the same rocking motion, but you're doing it with it in a roll.
Oh.
This is what you do with like basil, or I do this with lettuce and collards. So then now we have little pieces like this. But you could also just chop it in bigger chunks if you're going to just blanch it or steam it. You can do bigger chunks. This is great for like stir fry or even raw. I'll marinate this in like lemon juice and olive oil and eat it raw. And then the stalk, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to chop it, but I'm going to do it in smaller pieces, so then I can cook it together, and they're going to cook about the same. If you leave this chunky, then it's going to be more crunchy. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So, and here's another trick. If it's long, like I said, you can cut it in half to make it easier to cut. But if it's long, you can also cut it in half and do this. That way, you save so much time, because then you didn't have to chop all the way down. You just had to chop this distance. So it's all about saving time. So then this will be in little pieces, because you always want to eat the stalk. I know so many people that throw the stalk away. They don't think, I don't eat the stalk. Or they take broccoli and they only eat the florets and they don't eat the stalk. You always want to eat the stalk. This is where the energy and the fiber and so much nutrients is in the stalk.